Motion design is not difficult, but people on the internet have just made it unnecessarily complex. Everywhere you look, install 40 different plugins and cook your laptop. Just add deep glow to bandage a broken frame. Or slap an Apple-style liquid glass animation whenever you are clueless. Obviously, a beginner is going to get scared. So you search for something simpler and you find 50 videos with this exact same title as this one. Now most of them give you the same advice. Pick a software, learn After Effects and build a portfolio. Now that advice is real, but it is also the kind of thing you could get from Claude under 45 seconds. I wish I could learn this craft from Claude, but motion design taste does not live on the internet. Now this is why this video took me 4 weeks to write. By the way, I started at 250 rupees per edit to my first 1 lakh a month as a student to charging 1.5 lakh for a 60-second edit. I've scaled my own channel to over 150,000 subscribers and worked with billion-dollar companies. And this is the roadmap I wish I had when I started from absolute zero. So give me the next 10 minutes and I will completely change how you think about motion design forever. Now before you open After Effects, before you even open Premiere, understand this. Video editing and motion design are not the same thing, and that confusion is literally costing you lakhs every year. A video editor cuts footage, adds transitions, makes something watchable. A motion designer builds visuals from scratch, animates brand identities, makes a startup looks like it raised Series B. The market pays very differently for both. Video editors in India make on an average 15,000 to 40,000 a month, but motion designers working with brands easily 30,000 per project. Now the same story happened with one of our private coaching members, Prem Sagar. He was making around 15,000 a month as a video editor, that too working 8 to 9 hours a day. Now I coached him to transition into motion design. Fast forward to today, he just made 35,000 in a single week, just because he positioned himself as a motion designer and not a video editor. By the way, if you want a detailed video editing roadmap, I already made that one. It's close to 1 million views now, but let's focus on motion design for now. Stage 1. See, I've roasted 100 plus editors' work. Do you know what mistake they make every single time? They open After Effects on day 1. Then they wonder why things still kind of feel off 6 months later. Now here's what nobody tells you. The second word of motion design is design. And most people just skip it entirely. Now think about it. If your design is weak, motion is just moving a poorly designed frame. So do this instead. Pause your latest work. Now does that frame look good from a designer's eye? If not, you need to master design first, my friend. Don't worry, here are the 5 pillars you need to absolutely master. Now let me give you a quick crash course. Now this might be the most important 2 minutes you spend on this video. 1. Design principles. Contrast, hierarchy and balance. Contrast. What makes the most important thing pop? Hierarchy. What the eye sees first, second and third. Balance. So that nothing feels like it's tipping. 2. Brand system. This consists of color and typography. See, colors carry energy. Black carries luxury and authority. Now that's why Apple has never needed to shout. On the other side, typefaces carry tone. Take Coca-Cola but put it in Arial font and it's a completely different company. 3. Composition. Rule of thirds, eye trace and balance. First, rule of thirds. Where the most important thing sits in your frame. Eye trace, the path that viewer travels through your frame. Balance, so that every frame feels stable. 4. Negative space. Now this one's super underrated. This is basically the empty area around your elements. Trust me, most beginners fill every inch, but the best designers know what to leave out. 5. Visual rhythm. It's made of repetition, consistency and pattern. It's the single reason why some reels you can't stop watching and some you skip in just 2 seconds. I know you want to know where to learn all of these things. Now don't worry, I have a free cheat sheet to make your life so much easy. Now, one thing nobody tells you is, see, you can learn After Effects in a month, but you cannot teach taste in a year. Once you master the fundamentals of design, next you master the fundamentals of motion. Now there are simple 4 principles: timing, weight, rhythm and intention. Everything else is sort of like a variation of this 4. First, timing. Move something too slow and it feels lazy. Too fast and it starts feeling cheap. Weight. A logo landing and a subtitle fading should not feel the same. Rhythm. Great motion design has a pulse, the same way a good song does. Intention. Now before you animate anything, you should always ask, what do I want the viewer to feel in this moment? Now let's get to the tools. For a basic motion designer, After Effects is just enough. For intermediate, add Illustrator or Photoshop to it. And for advanced, you need to learn basics of Figma because you're now entering the SaaS territory, the highest paying work in this space. But let me warn you, After Effects is an ocean. After 7 years of diving deep, I can still tell you, if you want your work to look expensive, you need to nail these 5 fundamentals first. The graph editor, blend modes, null objects, trim paths, and expressions. Everything else kind of builds on top of this. But here's the honest truth. Trying to learn all of this from the internet alone is a tedious, scattered, and a painful process, which is exactly why I'm building the Indian School of Motion, a cult of top 1% of motion designers in India, where we don't just teach you what to learn, we teach you how to think from a blank canvas. Our students are already making 45,000 rupees from a single project delivered under weeks. We are launching with our first batch very soon. By the way, seats are gonna be super limited, so sign up right now, link in the description. Now, there are 5 lanes in motion design and you have to pick one. First, motion design for social media. Now this can be brands, explainer reels, ads, and D2C campaign. This is the easiest entry point and this has the most work available. And honestly, it's a great place to build speed. Second, SaaS and product motion. Explainer videos, product demos, launch films for tech companies. Now this is the highest paying freelance lane right now. One project here pays more than a month of social media work. Third, 3D motion. Blender, Cinema 4D, product visualization. Now these are very different tool sets and very different clients and genuinely underserved in India right now. Fourth, VFX and compositing. This is films, OTT, broadcast, cinematic VFX edits. This is the most technical lane, takes the longest time to break into, but once you're in, the work never stops. Fifth, interactive motion. Drive, Lottie, animations for apps and websites. Now almost nobody in India is talking about this yet, and this is exactly why it's so interesting. Now, knowing all 5 at a surface level will not get you anywhere. So simply pick the lane, you would still show up if no one was paying you today. Most people try to build taste by watching a lot of great work. That is not how taste is built. See, watching is passive. What you really need to do is break things apart. I call it the postmortem method. You find a piece of motion work that stops you mid-scroll. Then you dissect it to its core fundamentals. The typography, the pacing, the motion, the transition, the design of each frame. Then you try to rebuild it by changing one element. And the great thing is, you cannot exactly replicate great work even if you try. Which means every time you attempt it, it becomes something of your own. That is how taste is absorbed over time. But here's the part nobody talks about. Studying great work will make your work good, but what makes it memorable is one thing that nobody has ever seen before. Not the whole video, just one moment. Let me give you a real example. I made a video. This 59 seconds will change your editing forever. Most of it was solid motion work, but at one point I used Gaussian splatting, a technique almost nobody in this space had seen applied this way. Trust me, that section has the highest engagement in the entire video. People were just rewinding it, asking how it was even done. So never forget to do that one thing completely fresh. And of course, we can't talk about building this craft in 2026 without talking about AI. Now here's the real problem. After Effects open, Figma open, the 3 AI tools you signed up for last week, yeah, a reference folder, a tutorial in the background, the project completely stalls, not because you don't know what to make, but because you keep losing the threads between the tools. This is exactly what Luma agents are built for. See, when you create with Luma, there's a chat-based agent working alongside you throughout the entire project. You don't write prompts, you just give art direction, the way you would to a collaborator. You drop in references, sketches, mood boards. The agent reads all of it as context. It remembers every decision you have made and builds on them as the project evolves. Now when something's wrong, you mark it rejected. The agent self-corrects without you having to re-explain the brief from absolute scratch. No copy-pasting between tools, no losing context mid-project. You stay in creative direction the entire time. You give the intent, the agent handles the execution underneath. More ideas explode, more directions tested, and higher quality output without hours lost in tool management. They call it taste required. It multiplies what you bring, it does not substitute for it. Start creating with Luma AI today. Link is in the description. Before we even talk about distribution, your work needs to live somewhere public, not a Google Drive link you send when someone asks. Now the platforms of choice can be either Behance, Framer, Card, or even your own personal website. It does not matter which one. What matters is that it exists and it is public. Okay, now I have a few rules before you put up anything. Now here's a checklist for building your portfolio. First, 4 great pieces beat 30 average ones every single time. So do not fill space with work you're not absolutely proud of. Second, show the process, not just the final output. Show the style frames, the decision, the why behind the work. And whatever platform you pick, treat it like a piece of design itself. Because bad typography on your own portfolio is disqualifying before a single video even starts playing. Okay, now once the work is up, you need to get it in front of people. It can be Instagram, LinkedIn or Twitter. You have to post consistently, show the work, show the process, show the thinking behind it. I was doing exactly that when a Dubai-based creator found me. She reached out, I closed the deal. Can you guess how much we made? 12,917 dirhams in a month. That too from just one client. One client who found me because I showed up consistently. And it really doesn't matter how much the views. It really matters who is that video reaching out to. See, visibility is a skill, so you have to treat it like one. Alright, motion design gets better every single time you open After Effects. Now all of us started with rough and messy work, me included. I was exactly where you are right now. And if you follow this roadmap consistently, you will get there faster than I ever did. Now this roadmap covers the foundation, but there is one more layer that I did not have the time to cover today. AI. AI is completely changing how motion designers work in 2026. There's generative editing, there's programmatic editing. Now most people have no idea that this even exists. And the ones who learn this early are going to be untouchable. Now I did a full workshop on exactly this, so you can watch it right here. And don't forget to join Indian School of Motion. Peace. By the way, this is the last video that we're shooting from this set and from this home. So I'm getting really nostalgic because it has been 2 years that we have been recording video from this home, and this is the last video. So hopefully you would love the next home and the next studio and the next setup. See you.